Good morning, HG. My name is Doug Kramer, and I reside in the belly of the beast, Narcissist Central, otherwise known as Hollywood, California.
A brave man living there in Hollywood. And of
Indeed.
course, many of the people listening will know Doug very well, as he and I have spoken on many occasions, and there's more interviews to come, so you can all look forward to that. But it's my turn to ask the questions today.
Oh, dear.
Yep, I've got him in my sights, so let's get straight down to business. Doug, how
Yes.
did you find my work?
In 2016, HG, I became swept off my feet by a gal that appeared out of nowhere in my acting class. She swept me off my feet, love bombed me, and we proceeded to go on the Dance of the Narcissist, the roller coaster ride. Now, as you know, since I had grown up in a cult, Scientology, and I escaped several years prior, I was also assessing my family situation that had to do with a narcissistic upbringing. I couldn't help but notice that this was a learning experience. I didn't know that I could be ensnared in a one-on-one relationship. So
Okay.
I just happened to come across your information, and I was taking notes while I was experiencing this, learning a lot. That's how I came across your information for the first time.
Okay. Did you just came across, was it the blog or was it the videos or?
It was the videos, and particularly learning about, well, I guess we can get into that later, but you taught me about empaths, about the fuel
Okay.
matrix. I was learning everything
Sure.
in a crash course manner.
Okay. Well, that touches on as well what the situation was. So tell me about, Doug, how was that situation affecting you at that time?
Well, HG, even though that was the catalyst to connect a lot of dots, because once I ran across your information, you really helped me understand everything I'd been working on for years, sussing the cult. So
Yeah.
that wasn't the big thing, meeting her, but it was studying your videos and your blogs while having an interaction live and putting together everything else that I had already studied.
Yeah.
That was really the real narcissist is my mother that started this whole thing. I believe that determined my father getting into Scientology. We all
Yeah.
got sucked into a super narcissistic environment with that. And then when I was coming out of it, only when I came across your information did I piece together one-on-one relationships, cult leaders, and my family dynamic were all the same damn thing.
Yeah. It's an absolute perfect storm that you found yourself involved in.
And
And
Hollywood.
yeah, and I know that's one, Doug, that my viewers find interesting when you and I talk in the more expansive interviews. So you talked about where you were, Doug, when you first came along and sort of came across my work. Where are you now in relation to those narcissist situations? We know that you extracted yourself from the cult, of course, but what about the one-on-one situation you talked about?
HG, I'm in a totally different world. That was the last in 2016. Now I've attracted narcissists and learned more about it since then, but that was the last major one. Um, when I came out of the cult, I lost everything, my
Yeah.
family, my mind, my self-identity. Here I am in my 30s having to start over as a 6-year-old. I mean, it's hard to even describe how stupid, unworldly, and how afraid I was of the outside world. So it took a long time to get. I won't bore you with the details, but I spent a lot of time on that process. So I'm in
Yeah.
a completely different world than the one I grew up with my family. The cult is no part of my life, and
Good.
not only that, I'm healing enough where I want to, make a contribution like you. I mean, I don't have nearly the audience, but I'm compelled to speak out about what I learned and try to share with other people. I'm not only not afraid. I don't walk around paranoid. Ooh, are these kind of people come into my life? I have a zero tolerance for anybody that comes at me with any kind of an agenda,
Yeah.
just because of what I've been through. So I don't have time for any of that. I can spot it thanks to your work, and I'm in an entirely different world than what I grew up in.
Very positive. I'm pleased to hear all
Thanks,
of
man.
that. Yeah.
Thanks for the help.
Not at all. What do you think of narcissists now?
Well, after having been through all the emotional trauma, feeling every emotion I didn't even know a human body could feel. In other words, I spent a long time processing this. So if you would ask me back in the day, I would say I hate them. We need to take them down, etc. But now it's more like a clinical study and understanding where
Yeah.
the emotion's gone, and I'm just focused, like I said, on solutions. And also, when I look back at my whole experience, if I had to sum it up, the narcissist, at least for me, was the single greatest catalyst for waking up and removing the scales from my eyes. And I don't, like you said, HG, don't thank your abuser. You didn't
Mm,
need them to become who you are. But
mm,
since that was the situation that I grew up in, I do wonder what my life would have been like if I didn't have the environment, because it taught me so much, and I'm thankful for that. I don't know how that would have come about otherwise. I would personally hope, um, this is why I kind of care about your information so much. I'd like to help you in any way I can to just spread
Mhm.
it, my own way, because it had the most profound effect on my life. It was the keys to not only human behavior, but life itself. So
Yeah,
anybody that's interested in life, anybody that breathes, even if you're not immersed in it, it can be, I think, the single most, if you want the biggest bang for your buck in understanding the world, particularly what's going on now and why things might seem a little random and crazy, and why is there so much happening? There's no better bang for your buck than diving into the subject that you teach about.
fantastic. A great summing up there of why this work's so important. Doug, fighting the good
Mhm.
fight there in the viper's den that is the
Uh,
good. Good to have you on, my friend, and we will speak soon. So that's Doug. Thank you for sharing your observations, Doug.
Thank you very much, HG, for everything. I appreciate it. And as usual, have a good day.